Welcome back. A New Zealand man won the P.F. Chang's Rock and Roll Marathon, earning his first marathon victory. The 31-year-old came in at 2 hours, 13 minutes, and 20 seconds. What an accomplishment. And the women's competition was won for the 5th consecutive year by an Ethiopian woman. She set a course record of 2 hours, 31 minutes, and 14 seconds. Congratulations to everybody who raced this weekend. A lot of runners waking up stiff and sore after running the marathon and half marathon. Diane Ryan is at the Phoenix Suns locker room with exercises to help you recover from a big run.
Whew, you just ran a marathon. We're talking 26.2 miles. Your body is aching. It needs some water, so you grab lots of water, but you need much more than that. With me right now is Dr. Michael Clark. He is with the Phoenix Suns, and actually we are in their training room right now. We pan around and show you what it looks like in here. What are some other things you need besides water? Because your body is really depleted after running all those miles.
Well, hydration is one of the most important things, but if you get any cramps during running, make sure you eat some bananas. The other big thing is if you get any acute injuries when you're running, your knee starts to hurt, make sure you go see your physician right away. But what I want to take you through is a recovery workout that you can do right after running.
Stretching, that's really important.
Stretching is extremely
Okay, well, let's go back in here. This is another area where the Phoenix Suns do some training as well. And we've got Jen Purdy here, and tell us what she's doing.
So what Jen is doing right now, she's on something called a foam roll. And what this does, this helps relax the muscles. So after a 26.2 mile marathon, all your muscles are really tense. So Jen is going to roll the outside of her leg, which is called the IT band. And one of the major areas after running is runners get knee pain because they're constantly doing this repetitive motion. So she rolls up and down on this foam roll, and she finds the most tender points, and she just holds that for about 45 seconds. You can get these foam rolls at a lot of the sports shows. Sports stores, and so you can do that. So 45 seconds.
I have one of these at home, and I work on it quite a bit.
That's great. After she does this, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to have Jen go right to stretching her calf muscles, because when you're running, you're constantly pushing off the ground, and these calf muscles get really tight. So what we're going to do is have Jen, she's on a slant board here, her knees completely straight. We have her foot turned in slightly, and what we're trying to do is focus on the outside of the calf because that gets extremely tight. So we're going to have Jen hold that for 30 seconds. And she's just going to repeat that 2 times.
And that really helps out.
And that really helps out. That helps get the motion back in the ankles and helps restore the lower legs after a run.
And you do this right away, right after the marathon?
Immediately after the run.
Okay. And what's next?
The next one, Jen, come on over here, please. She's going to stretch the front of her hips, which again, let's go down on your knee. When you're running, you're constantly flexing your knee up and down. So these muscles in the front of your leg, your quadricep and your hip flexors, get really overactive. So what we're going to do is have Jen put her arm up into the air, and we're going to have her pull her belly button in to stabilize her spine. And she's just going to stretch over to the side, and that stretches the hip flexor, which is deep here, and also your quadricep. And again, that gets overworked during the marathon.
And this is a plus. Now, should you do this for a couple times, or
2 sets of 30 seconds on the stretching?
And do you do this for a couple of days after, or
you
just
can do it, you can actually do it every day after that until you start getting back into your workouts again.
Until you start feeling kind of better.
Yes, exactly.
And then is there anything else?
Yep, the next one we're going to do, so we do the foam roll first, then we go to the 2 stretches. The next one we're going to do is Jen's going to do something called a single leg balance reach. So she's going to stand on her left leg, she keeps her foot nice and straight, keeps her knee over her second and third toe, and then she's going to reach back with this opposite leg. And what we're doing here is getting the muscles in the upper gluteal area to wake back up.
I can feel it.
Yeah, it's a great exercise after you're running. It wakes that muscle back up. And what she's going to do is 1 set of 10 on both legs, and then we'll move into our next exercise.
But these are pretty easy.
These are easy. It doesn't require a lot of equipment, and they're really good for recovery.
Okay, and the last one?
The last one we're going to do is something called tube walking. And again, this is just a tiny little band. You can get tubing, again, a lot of the sports stores. And what you're going to do is use one that's about 6 inches, put it right around the ankles. And the key here, put your feet straight ahead, hands on your hips, and now Jen's just going to walk sideways. And keep those feet straight. And what we're trying to do again is work on those upper glute muscles and get those things to kick back in after running. Okay?
So that's a couple of simple exercises that people can do, stretching right after the marathon.
Stretching is a great thing to do after the marathon to help you recover.
Now, quickly about diet. Should you continue eating the same amount you ate? When can you start exercising again?
You should take off at least a week. You can gradually start working back into it. The stretching is the most important thing. But make sure, again, if you have foot pain or knee pain, go see your physician and work yourself back into exercise gradually.
Okay, and drink plenty of water.
Drink a lot of water.
Well, thank you so much for talking to us this morning. This is really good information for all those runners out there, whether you did a half marathon or a full marathon.
Thank you and good luck.
So back to you guys.
Okay, thank you very much, Diane and Rick. You are in the MyFoxPhoenix.com web center with our sports trainer.
Our sports trainer, here he is. His name is Tony Ambler-Wright. He's with the National Academy of Sports Medicine. He's on MyFoxPhoenix.com right now, answering your questions. And it's a live chat, really, right, Tony? That's what you're doing.
It is live.
Chatting with people who are asking questions about, well, let's ask Tony what they're asking. What are they asking this morning?
Probably one of the most common questions is how do I reduce this muscle soreness after the event? What are some of the things that I can do to help in my recovery after the event? One of the best things that you can do is incorporating some type of flexibility routine after the event. On the previous segment, you saw the foam roller.
Yeah.
It's one of the best flexibility techniques that you can use after an event like this. It's not very aggressive, but it can help get waste products out of the muscles, help get oxygen and blood back into the muscles.
When I ran the half, the first thing I did was take a warm bath, and then I was told that was like the worst thing you could do.
Yes, heat after an event like this,
Yeah.
when you have a lot of inflammation going on in the body, is not one of the things you want to incorporate into your recovery routine. Ice is going to be one of the best things that you can do for that.
Okay, so you're answering questions right now. You're on chat, myfoxphoenix.com. Go to the special area there, right in the center, and you'll be clicked right over to it. And you told him that you were going to go on TV now, so you had to take a pause, and now you're getting back to work. Tell him I was a nice guy, would you please?
I will do that,
Okay.
absolutely.
Thank you for coming in
Thanks
today.
a lot. My
Over
pleasure.
to you, Alexis.
And thanks for bringing us those waters at the expo this
Oh,
weekend.
they did bring us water. Yeah, they did.
Absolutely. Okay, thanks.